A lot to get to, and we have another special guest here in studio. We actually have two, but we want to get to the first one, a woman who works hard in our community for our unhoused folk here in Charlotte-Mecklenburg area. You know, I met her about a year ago. Time escapes me. Cold called her, did a story about the nonprofit she works for and what they do. Fast forward, I've seen her throughout my couple of years of being here at WCNC Charlotte, and she does incredible work. You may recognize her because I feel like she's everywhere. MaShonna Hughes. She's with Project Outpour. MaShonna, thank you for coming in, stopping by.
Thank you for having me, Nick. I'm so excited.
I'm surprised she has time to be in here because she's always on the go. She works with Project Outpour. Not only do you provide hot mobile showers, but resources, much needed resources for our unhoused community. You're from North Carolina too.
I am. Rocky Mount.
Rocky Mount.
Yes.
Rocky Mount. I never forget that because you don't meet a lot of folk here in Charlotte from Rocky Mount. I haven't. MaShonna's the first one I met from Rocky Mount. How did you get involved with Project Outpour? We'll start there.
It is a very long story, but the short version is 2022, I left Charlotte. Wanted something different, wanted to pursue some additional goals, started a new role with a nonprofit that was remote out in Massachusetts. By the second week, I knew something wasn't right. But I couldn't put my finger on it. So I am a woman of faith. Every morning I read and journal. And one particular morning I heard God say, leave that job. And I left that job and was unemployed for a year and a half. I couldn't find a job. I couldn't
really
snag a job, even if I wanted to. I actually had a offer that ended up being rescinded. And it's so funny, I was thinking about it this morning because it was an opportunity to work with the unhoused community. And that position was rescinded, and I was forced to move back to Charlotte because at that point I didn't have any income. Came back to Charlotte in January of 2024 and saw the opening for Project Outpour. It was very limited information, very vague, understandably so now because of the vulnerability of the population that we serve. And I applied, and here we are.
Oh, and it's being out there. And you're Chief Dignity Officer for Project Outpour, and you treat them like family, and rightfully so. Because I think a lot of times when we see our unhoused brothers and sisters on the street, we ignore them, right? I think a lot of, and I'm just saying I'm saying the quiet part out loud.
Yes.
And I think a lot of people ignore them. A lot of people look at it and like, oh, that's not me. But a lot of folks are facing homelessness. Like they are one paycheck away. They're right there on the brink, and sometimes they just choose to turn away from the problems that are happening out here on our streets. What is that experience like being out there on because you guys have multiple locations throughout the city, right?
Yes, we have 5 locations that we go to each week. Rain, shine, hot or cold, we show up. And I think for me personally, it was my own personal experience. While I wasn't homeless, there was a time in my life that I was prepared to be. And so I understand some of the needs that our neighbors have. I understand what it's like to have hope when the world around you is continuing to move on when you have nothing. I know what it's like to have faith when everything around you tells you to give up. And those are the same characteristics that a lot of our neighbors are battling with on a daily basis. And I just consider how powerful my community was during that time of my journey. And so I enjoy giving and creating those opportunities for our neighbors because just like you said, I mean, imagine hundreds, if not thousands of cars passing you by every single day ignoring you. And then you come to Project Outpour and you just feel the love as soon as you walk up. Many of our neighbors we know by name, we know their stories, and it has really helped break down those barriers of stereotypes and stigmas about how people become homeless.
And there's music out there playing. They're having a good time. I went during the summertime. So, it is National Homelessness Awareness Month. November is. When it comes to this month, and it's not just this month, what do you want folks to know? And again, it's not just this month, but all year round. What do you want folks to know?
You know, Nick, that's a loaded question. And it's loaded because I want to make sure I do the neighbors that we serve the proper justice that they deserve. Mm-hmm. And I think one of the most powerful things that I have heard through conversations and the relationships that we've built with the neighbors that we serve is reminding people of what humanity looks like. Mm-hmm. Again, these are still individuals who are going through a moment in time. And I think it is important for people to understand a simple, hey, how are you doing? A simple wave or just an acknowledgement can go so far for so many people. And again, just imagine the world seeing you as invisible, and then you have that one person or that one opportunity where somebody reminds you that you are valued, you are seen, and you are cared for. And so I think what's most important is reminding people that these are still human beings. They are mothers, they are fathers, grandparents, aunts and uncles. And unfortunately, we've seen an increase in children that we've served. And so again, just reminding people that choose not to judge and just pour into people during this moment, during that journey of their time.
And I think, a lot of it is what you do is not just help, our unhoused community, is educating folks who are not unhoused, right? Because there are a lot of stigmas around what it means to be unhoused, right? People have their own sort of preconceived notions of what it is. And it looks just like me. It looks just like you. It looks like everybody in this room right now, if I'm being honest.
Absolutely. And I think for me personally, recognizing that and understanding how valuable life is, it really helps change my perspective. And I think it's important for people to recognize, looking at me now, you would have never imagined what my story was. And those are some of the same stories that our neighbors have shared. We have ex-CEOs, six-figure salary-making neighbors that we serve, and you would never know that just by looking at them. And so I think you hit the nail on the head just sharing how tough times are right now, and a lot of people are living paycheck to paycheck. And I think it's important for people to understand that it's not always just mental health, it's not always just substance abuse that creates these homeless issues for our neighbors. They're issues that are beyond their control. Majority of the people that we serve are Black and brown individuals. And I think that speaks volumes to just a lot of the systemic issues that Black and brown people face. Now, don't get me wrong, there is every demographic that you can think of we are serving. But it is a disproportionate amount of Black and brown people that we are serving.
I do want to mention y'all had an incredible event recently. I was a part of Strides for Shelter 5K. Carlene, I PR'd, personal record. I was flying.
Yes.
She saw me. She came up to me. I saw her, and she said, "You gonna run those 3 miles?" I said, "Am I gonna run those 3 miles?" Yeah, I'm gonna run those miles. And she saw me flying.
He was.
I say all that to say it was a great event to raise money for your cause and what you're doing out here in the community. What's next? How can folks be a part of what you're doing?
Yeah, so right now our numbers are soaring in terms of the number of showers, because the number of people who are becoming unhoused in Mecklenburg County is increasing. And so in order for us to continue to keep up with this demand, we need our community to continue to support us, whether that's monetary donations, in-kind donations of the supplies that we distribute, or volunteering their time. Currently right now we are in the year-end giving season, and we are looking for 50 individuals to donate $100 a month so that we can ensure that our neighbors continue to have access to everything that we provide at Project Outpour and more.
Before I let you go, what I think I asked you this before in our first interview. What gets you up in the morning? Because this is not easy work. You hear a lot of stories, some that you can resonate with, some that you can't even wrap your head around, some that's just like, oh man, and some good stories. But how do you do this day in, day out?
I would be lying if I didn't say there are more hard days than there are good days. Sometimes I'm crying at night just considering, think of last night, for example. It's freezing temperatures, and my mind automatically goes to, man, I wonder how our neighbors are doing.
Yeah.
But I think personally, what keeps me fueled is knowing that I'm walking in purpose. I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be, and I understand that. And while it's heavy at times, it's also a responsibility that I know is creating opportunities for thousands of people, not just our neighbors, the people that we interact with that volunteer, our staff and our team. And so really making sure that I stay rooted and grounded in reminding myself what I'm supposed to be doing here at Project Outpour.
I just want to say thank you for your work. You really get a chance to see your heart out there on those locations, and yeah, just thank you, because again, our unhoused brothers and sisters, like they are not seen properly. Sometimes they're not seen at all. And so what you're doing, you're giving them dignity. I mean, it's in your name of your position, Chief Dignity Officer. And I've seen that transformation. They come in one way and they leave another way.
Yeah.
And they have that glow about them when they leave.
Yes.
And it's not like a hot shower. It's not like some resources, some toothpaste, some
Yes.
shoes, some clothes.
Food, haircuts, we do it all.
So I thank you for what you're doing for our community.
Thank you.
And thank you for stopping by. Come back. I always tell folks, come back to the neighborhood. We love to have you back. MaShonna Hugh, Chief Dignity Officer for Project Outpour. Make sure you check them out, and make sure you support and volunteer. I think her number's on the website too. It
is. If you need it, it's 704-275-5540.
I hope you wrote that down, because we're not playing that back. MaShonna, thank you for stopping by.
Thank you.